Welcome to the Common Man Football Show. My name is James Coburn, and today's episode, we're talking about the 2018 NFL Draft Class, specifically the top 5 offensive guards based on analytics. And I know I've done other videos in the past having the top 5 guards based on data, but this video specifically is the final say on that. The videos I did in terms of top 5 at the position in the past, which are also some of our more popular videos on this channel. All those videos were made back in May of last year. So this is the final ranking. You know, all the videos I did back in May were really just previews for the upcoming season. But this is the actual final say on who the top 5 offensive guards in this draft class are based on data. And if you're new to the channel and you're new to the work that I do, all terms and definitions will be in the description. So if you don't know what the explosive lower body strength score is, speed score, flexibility score, all that information will be in the description. And on top of that, if you want more data like this, if you want more information like this, which you're not going to find anywhere else on the internet, nobody else does the stuff that I do, guys. And I say that because I respect a lot of what other people do in this draft community and data community, but you're not going to find a draft guide, which is what I have, the 2018 NFL draft guide, analytics draft guide specifically, that I made. You're not going to find any other information that I put it in that guide. My guide has production data, athleticism data, physical characteristic data. It goes over everything. It's by far the most comprehensive data guide that you will find on the internet today based on data, based on analytics. So be sure to buy the 2018 NFL Draft Analytics Guide, which is available on Amazon.com today. The link is in the description. All the proceeds from that also go to support this channel and to support me. So if you love this channel, if you love the stuff that I do, be sure to go buy that guide as well. All the stuff from that helps this channel out tremendously. And with all that stuff out of the way, let's get to the top 5 offensive guards in this draft class based on analytics. So starting with number 5, we have Dijon Allen, offensive guard out of Hawaii. When you look at his athleticism testing, he had an 83.24 explosive lower body strength score, a 95.17 speed score, and an 80.83 flexibility score. Based on the data work that goes all the way back to the 1999 NFL draft class, he pretty much hits all the athleticism traits necessary for all-pro potential, Pro Bowl potential, and starter potential when it comes to his testing. And when you look at the averages at the position, he pretty much hits all the averages as well, with the exception of his flexibility testing, which is kind of below the All-Pro average and below the Pro Bowl average, but still very, very strong overall profile when it comes to his athleticism testing. The only thing that really holds him back to a certain extent is he's a little bit older of a prospect. He entered the draft at about 24 years old, and based on my data, since 1999, 100% of multiple All-Pros as Pro Bowl guards, or at least 23.5 or less. So he's a little bit older as a prospect, but still very strong overall athleticism testing, and I think that will carry on to him becoming a very successful long-term starter. Then, of course, we get to number 4 in this list, which is Skyler Phillips, offensive guard out of Idaho State. When you get to his athleticism testing, he had an 89.89 explosive lower body strength score, 96.36 speed score, and 87.18 flexibility score. Pretty much hits all the athleticism traits necessary for all-pro potential, Pro Bowl potential, and starter potential in terms of the bottom end thresholds. And you look at the averages at the position, he pretty much hits all the averages for an all-pro player in terms of his athleticism testing. The reason why he's number 4 in this list instead of higher, though, is mainly because I haven't been able to find an age for him. I haven't been able to find a birth date for him. And there's just some question marks in terms of his level of competition as well. You know, guys that come from lower level division schools like Idaho State typically take a little bit longer to develop, are not quite as developed as other sort of players. And because of that, that lack of development is another reason why he's kind of a little bit lower on this list. But bottom line is, fantastic overall athleticism profile, and I think there's a very good shot that he could go on to become a long-term starter to Pro Bowl player based on his athleticism traits. And of course, we get to number 3 on this list, Braden Smith, offensive guard out of Auburn. When you look at his athleticism testing, he had a 96.68 explosive lower body strength score, 65.90 speed score, and 63.11 flexibility score. He pretty much hits all the bottom end thresholds for Pro Bowl potential based on his athleticism traits. When you look at the averages at the position, he's kind of below what the average score is for all-pro players, Pro Bowl players, in terms of his speed score And on top of that, his flexibility score is kind of below what the average is for a starter as well in terms of his flexibility testing. But bottom line, Braden Smith does have a very good overall profile. You know, a pretty good explosion, above average speed, above average flexibility. I think there's a very good shot that Braden Smith goes on to become a very successful offensive guard at the next level. It's just a matter of if his flexibility testing or his speed testing kind of lowers his overall upside, if you will. But bottom line is, very good overall player. We're just going to have to see what his ultimate upside is at the next level because of some of those question marks. And then we get to number 2 player on this list, Will Hernandez, offensive guard out of the University of El Paso. Based on his testing, hit a 67.39 explosive lower body strength score, 96.23 speed score, and 98.03 flexibility score. Pretty much hits every single threshold you're looking for in terms of all-pro potential and Pro Bowl potential. And when you look at the averages at the position, pretty much hits well within the averages of a Pro Bowl player based on his explosion. And his explosion score is really only about 4 points away from the average of an all-pro player. So fantastic overall profile for Will Hernandez in terms of his athleticism testing. The reason why he's number 2 in this list and not number 1 in many ways is because of his height. The vast majority of all-pro guards are typically about 6'3" or higher, and Will Hernandez is 6'2". So his height kind of lowers his overall upside to a certain extent because typically guards that are taller end up having more impactful careers for whatever reason. I mean, that's just what the data says about guards that are typically taller, typically have better careers. Bottom line though, Will Hernandez still has a very fantastic profile, really great athleticism traits, very good overall just traits in general, and I think again, easily one of the best interior offensive linemen in this draft class based on his overall athleticism traits. Which brings us to the number 1 offensive guard in this draft class, which should be no surprise, is Quintin Nelson, offensive guard out of Notre Dame. First off, he hits all the minimum physical requirements you're looking for in terms of an offensive guard. He's very tall, very good length, hits all the benchmarks in terms of the bench press and everything else like that in terms of his other athleticism traits. And then when you get to his actual athleticism scores, he had a 68.62 explosive lower body strength score, 78.24 speed score, and a 90.28 flexibility score, which hits all the minimum thresholds for the most part for all-pro potential, Pro Bowl potential, and starter potential. When you look at the averages at the position, he pretty much hits more so within the averages of a Pro Bowl player than an all-pro player, but still very, very good overall profile. He's a guy that has almost pretty much based on my data and based on the work that I did, he put up a perfect score at the guard position in terms of just hitting sort of every single threshold you're looking for, the height requirements, the physical characteristic requirements, and everything else like that. He just hit every single threshold on top of also being a relatively younger player as well. So the bottom line is Quintin Nelson is the best offensive guard in this draft class based on analytics. He's also considered to be the best guard in this class just based on the normal draft analytics or analysts, way of thinking as well. So easily should be considered a top 10 player in this draft class. And of course, my name is James Coburn. You can find my other work at draftcoburn.wordpress.com. You can also follow me on Twitter at Geometrics. And if you like this content and you want more content like this, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Share this video as well with anybody that you know. Hit that notification button so you're always reminded another video of mine drops. And also, again, be sure to buy the 2018 NFL Draft Guide available on Amazon.com as well. With all that stuff out of the way, I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Peace.